with this Republican guy. And what was fascinating was he was genuinely interested in what I thought.
Yeah, and I just, when I hear this, I'm agreeing with what you're saying, and from your small town experience, you see that extremism come into play, and I just wonder about things like acceptance and accommodation. We're different, so maybe we might be better together if we can get along and kind of accommodate each other in some ways. And if we have one position that the other doesn't like, well, we can kind of just overlook that. We don't have to talk about it. But I think at this particular point in our history, it's even harder to approach the other person because that's so much work. And I'm thinking people don't want that work, even though they may want it. They don't do the things necessary to approach a person. In other words, it's easier to avoid than to really figure out, hey, can we have this conversation and go from there and kind of bond and accommodate each other in the give and take of the world. It certainly happens in marriages. We got to do that in our family in some way, so why can't we do it with the rest of the folks out there?
This Republican guy. And what was fascinating was he was genuinely interested in what I thought.
Wow. Okay.
I really got the sense that he had never really hung out with, a commie vegan. And so, and what I walked away from that conversation, to him, I am genuinely different than what he would understand. But I also think that he was expecting me to be maybe more, there's some more animosity or disdain.
Right.
But, that was...
radical.
It's not, that's not who I am.
That's an amazing experience. I'm glad you shared that. The idea that, and when we have this conversation with someone, we meet them in a situation and there's something going on, we focus on that particular situation, and then we find some connection with someone else when we didn't expect it, and because we've labeled that other person and give them all of these adjectives and adverbs and so forth, but then we meet them and hey, they're an okay person. Well, maybe we can talk about our differences at that point. I don't know. I hope so.
If you begin with the idea that all of us really are just doing the best we can,